Welcome to the Quiz the Music Man podcast. My name's Tony. I'm the Music Man. And we're going to talk a little bit today about how to set yourself up for success. A lot of people have asked me what the best way is to assure success in different things. I'm going to talk a little bit about music, being a music creator. A lot of this will work for a lot of things out there. That might not be the things you would normally go on the path of, schooling and training and getting into a little cubicle and working. And not harshing on that. That's nothing wrong with that. I've done that. Everything's good for that. But you might want to do something a little different. And what I've always said is find something you love and then monetize it. So if that's architecture, then go work for an architect. If it's medicine, go into medicine. If it's music, go into music. Basketball, play basketball. But it's easy to say that, but it's a different thing to do it. So I wanted to give you some exact plan, a step-by-step thing. I'll put the, like a PDF or something, I'll link that down for you. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm in a different room tonight. I'm in front of the Pink Doors. It's a dance studio. I own a music school, and there's a dance studio next door that I'm involved with. So that's where I am today. Because we still have lessons going on, and unfortunately, some of them, not unfortunately, but a lot of drum lessons, and they're quite loud. So here we are. This might be a two-parter. So let's talk a little bit about the first stuff I'm going to talk to you about. Will work for anyone seeking success in anything, professional, educational, personal, wealth, spiritual, relationships, you name it. You have to set yourself up for success, and you have to have an attitude of what I call no excuses, no roadblocks, and don't live on someday I'll. So in other words, it's not, well, someday I'll do whatever. If there's something you're talking about, do it now, today. Make a commitment to do that today. And so no excuses. And what do I mean by excuses? Well, there are things that are exterior to you. So there are reasons, there are things that are in your way. There are things you can't change maybe about yourself and so forth. So I don't mean that. I don't mean that, a lot of people say, well, if you fail or whichever you want to do, you fail or succeed, it's up to you. And I believe that. However, I also know for a fact that sometimes outside forces just overwhelm you. And I will prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt by saying, what about someone who's in an accident? Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper and Richie Valens were in an airplane, and the plane went down. So not much they could do about that. Now, maybe they could have not ridden in that plane, but some people get hit just in a car accident or get a disease, or there's a natural disaster or an unnatural disaster. And you see, no matter what they do about it, it's not going to change it. So I think we have to be careful when we have this kind of cavalier attitude that, it's all up to you and you're exactly where you want to be and you command your ship and so forth. That's true. Ahab was one of the best captains, but Moby Dick made sure the ship didn't make it back to Nantucket. That's based on a true story. And the true story is actually more horrible than Moby Dick. Because it involves a huge whale ramming the ship and eating people and things, but the rest of it is a horrific account. But anyway, you do have control over a lot of what you do, however. And you do have control over excuses. Oh, well, I've never really been a good at that. And people will do it surreptitiously. Oh, I just, my car broke down and I can't get there. And, those things might be true, but you need to get you a car that works, or take the train, or take an Uber, or have somebody take you. Plan early, go early. If you have a lot of kids, or if you have a lot of things in your life, just have to plan for it. And no, it isn't easy. And no, maybe I couldn't do it. A lot of things I can't do. I decide I don't think I'm going to do it because the value, the payoff isn't really worth what's going on with it. The payoff isn't worth what it takes to put into it. I do that a lot with things around the house. I used to be a super handyman and do everything, and I still do many things, but I say, well, it might cost me $100 to do this, but with that time and effort, I can create 2 or 3 songs and further get 3 or 4 more students in my business and that kind of thing. So you have to, weigh what is good and what's not. And if something is a roadblock, don't be something you put into it. And don't wait. I have so many students too that learn to play an instrument, and then they tell me they want to sing and play in public, but then they want to go to get a degree or want to do something else. And I'm trying to get them to say, well, no, go ahead and do what you're doing. Play your music. Go act somewhere. Go on auditions. Go join a traveling show. Work on a cruise ship. Now, a lot of those aren't happening right now because of COVID, but they will. We've got a vaccine coming. There'll be other vaccines. Things will open up. Now's actually a great time to get everything in order, to get a lot of things done with your social media and things which we'll talk about a little bit. So no excuses, no roadblocks, and don't live on someday I'll. So don't make excuses. Provide solutions for yourself. Don't set up roadblocks. Clear the path and plan things out really good. And don't wait until you're ready. Just do it. I've always said learn concurrently. If you don't think you're quite good enough at guitar, go play guitar and learn, take some lessons. Commitment. You got to have some commitment. And commitment is something that everybody talks about, but nobody knows about it. They all say they know about it. Commitment is defined as doing something at the expense of something else. So I've had students say, well, I had soccer practice. I couldn't make my lesson. And I'm, okay, well, that's your choice. Well, no, I had soccer practice. I'm like, well, yeah, but you choose soccer over music, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't expect me to, make up a lesson or do anything else for you, because you should tell the soccer coach you can't do soccer. You have to play music. Now, the soccer coach might laugh at you because they've kind of got you if you're in a school situation. And you might think it's more important. I don't think either is more important. But if it comes down to, somebody says soccer is more important, well, the soccer coach is probably not a full-time coach. He probably does other things too. And you see, I'm full-time at my music school. So by that definition, the music is more important. It's all I do. Now, I'm not saying it's more important than soccer. I like soccer. I'm just using that as an example. If you commit to soccer, don't keep telling the coach, well, I got a music lesson. You have to work these things out. And you might just need to put something aside for a while and come back to it. So commitment, you have to say to yourself, let's say this: I will accomplish my goals by working every day on my plan of action at the expense of everything else. If you can say that, then you have a career, whether it be a lawn service, a brain surgeon, a politician, construction, whatever it is, that is your success plan. So how do you get to there? First, you have to dream. You have to say, what do I like doing? What would I like to do? Let me write some goals down. That's your second thing. And then write a plan. And then put some timelines to that plan. So the dreaming stage is going to be a lot of experiencing and dreaming. So you want to go And, if you want to be an architect, see who in your family or anybody know an architect you can go and visit. Shadow, maybe go work for a day or two, make some copies, see what they do. Meet other architects, join architecture groups, take architecture classes at your school. Google that stuff, YouTube it, be immersed in it, go look at some buildings. An architect would be like an artist. I'm a musician. If I go to a concert, an opera or a musical or a heavy metal or rap or whatever, I should be able to really appreciate that. And in fact, I should go to those places, and I try to. You want to look at what you're doing, see what others are doing, appreciate that, immerse yourself. And when you're enjoying it, that's a field that will work for you. And then I would say to educate yourself concurrently while you're creating and marketing. So if you want to learn better about a guitar or how to sing, take some lessons, but also, learn through YouTube, learn what other people are doing, and start going out there and playing or performing your art or creating your art, because that's really the way with artists really need to be out there doing that. Even in high school, you're kind of starting on your training. So how do you understand what to do, how to market yourself, how to do your music? What do you do? There are some sources that you can get that information from. Now, these people haven't contacted me about letting you know about them or promoting them. I'm not getting paid. But I either have firsthand knowledge or have looked at their material, and they do pretty good. I'll start with Rick Barker. It's RickBarker.com. He was Taylor Swift's first manager, and he has a complete system, programs for you to join in and learn all you need to know about creating music and marketing that music. Another one is Adam Ivy. He's got a lot of YouTubes out there. You can look him up. There's another group that's in England called Burstimo, Burstimo. You can Google them, look them up on YouTube. And Rick Barker and Adam Ivy's program provides you with a lot of information on how to market yourself. If you want to learn a little bit about recording, I would look up Recording Revolution on YouTube. There's a program there. The name of the person escapes me. I might think of it in a minute. But those are some ways to kind of go to college about how to market yourself as a musician, about writing music, creating your art, recording it, making videos, marketing through social media, through other marketing, and the things you should be doing. Now, let's talk about just similar, we talked a little bit about this, but the next step is to really become involved in things you like. If you like motorcycles, go to some motorcycle meets and follow some motorcycle blogs and be involved. If you have a motorcycle, ride it. Show people that you're involved in that. Take some pictures, make some posts. Become engaged and be friendly with groups that are of a like mind. Whatever it is you like. It could be all kind of different things. Cooking, maybe you like making costumes. I don't know. All kind of things aside from your art. Hobbies and things. Get involved with that. Go onto the groups and engage people. Engage your friends, your groups, and let them know what you're doing. And just be likable just to enrich yourself. Don't worry about it helping you with your marketing. Just enrich your life and show people that you're an actionable person. Now, you're going to have to probably put some money together to do some of this stuff. It's like going to college. Tell your relatives what you're doing. all your friends, and say that instead of giving you any gifts for the next couple of years, just give you money or make a list of items. Be very specific. Make a clickable link where they could click on it. It goes to Amazon and shows them that item about things you want. Be willing to work for money. If you're living with your folks, stay in your room. Take out the trash. Ask them, what things can I do where you will allow me to still live here and pursue my dream? Now, they might want you to go to college or whatever, and that's up to you. I don't have a problem with that. I wouldn't go to college necessarily for a performing arts unless you really want to teach it. I would just do online courses or do your gen eds at first, and I'll be out there performing and things, because then after a year or two, you're ready to kind of make some decisions as to what you want to do, and maybe go to a school that's in a place where you can do some work and so forth. So, make some deals. And a lot of times, I know parents that have kicked kids out just because they turned 18. You're 18 now. I don't want you around. That's a sad situation. I'm sorry about that, but find some place for yourself. You've got to get out of this life what you deserve. So go to some other relatives, or go to go to your school counselor and let them know you're getting kicked out and that you need a place. I know this sounds a little strange, but listen, I've seen everything. I see it. I see students and kids and parents, and I see this a lot. So that's why I bring that up. It might seem a little strange and out of whack with a normal life, but it isn't. Unfortunately, kids get kicked out of the house, or they just don't have a home life. A lot of people, wonder why kids grow up and have a difficult time. Well, they don't realize that it's, they have to walk through a war zone to get to grade school, and on and on. And I've been in some of those awful situations, and it's tough to recover. Sometimes you never recover. It affects your life forever. But what I'm saying is, if that's you, I really hope you can find a way around it. That's one of these things that's not your roadblock or not your problem you're throwing in front of you. It's a problem out there that you have to overcome. And, shoot me a message. I'll try to help you out as much as I can, or try to find somebody to help you out, because I know that's a tough place. But get yourself set up, and, always, if the people around you don't believe you and don't trust you and don't believe in you and don't have faith in you and don't want to help you, then get you some new people. Believe me, you got your whole life ahead of you. A year or two of difficulty will be well worth it. So let's talk about what you need to gather together in order to be a musician, or even a videographer and things like that. And remember, you've put together a number. You've went through all these and added them up and decided. So don't make these a roadblock as well. You need a PC or a Mac, and it can be an older one. It can be a gift. It just has to be able to do what you need it to. If it's not quite capable, take it to a computer place and have them put more RAM in it or whatever it is you need. Make sure it works where there's no roadblocks or stop signs or anything in front of you. You're going to need a recording program to record your own music. Pro Tools, Logic, those cost money. GarageBand and Audacity are free. Reaper is fairly free. You have to add I think it's a $60 buy-in they ask for you. It's free for you to learn it. You got to have plugins, so make sure you figure out the basic plugins you need, put a number on it, put that on your main list of how much money you're going to need. You can also look into using a mastering service if you're not great on mastering music or editing your content. Some of the mastering services are Lander, CD Baby has one. There's a lot of them out there. They're fairly inexpensive. I've used them. I've mastered my own stuff. I've used them. There's actually an app on iPad called Mastering, and I use that a lot too. It works out really well. If you're a guitarist, get yourself a good serviceable guitar. It doesn't have to be a $2,000 Gibson or Fender or Gretsch or anything. It's great if it is, but it doesn't have to be. You can buy a $100 acoustic guitar, a $200 acoustic electric from Sam Ash or Musician's Friend that will take you wherever you need to go. Upgrade the strings, have it set up by a luthier if you don't know how to set them up, and you're in good shape. You might want to put a pickup in it if it's just an acoustic. If it's an acoustic electric, you might want to you can buy a $120 amplifier, and it doesn't have to be a big wattage because most places have sound systems. You can just put a microphone in the back of it or set one in the front of it and get all the sound you need. Get yourself a good phone, iPhone or Android. Make sure if it's older, that's fine as long as it has all the apps and things that you need it to do. And download and use apps. There's a lot of apps you can do to do that. So those are the hard things you need. Now, let's go off the path a little bit. If you want to be, say, an architect, well, download architectural apps and download apps on drawing architecture and things of that nature. If you want to be a doctor, download anatomy stuff. I don't know. Google what's the best thing to do if you want to be a doctor and follow some of that advice. There's probably a lot of YouTubes about that and so forth. So that's kind of the things, the hard stuff you're going to do, the commitment level you're going to need. And I'm going to go ahead and stop this blog, and we're going to start a part 2 because I don't want to go over 30 minutes. I'm trying to keep these under 30 minutes. So this is Tony Underwood, the Music Man, and we are answering the question, how do I set myself up for success as a musician? And maybe in life too. So we'll see you in the part 2 of this series, and we'll continue on from where we stopped.